Hi guys, this is a redirect to my reaction to Blue Exorcist, a trial reaction to Blue Exorcist, also known as Ao Exorcist, to the first three episodes, episodes 1, 2 and 3, and I really enjoyed it. I really like the concept behind this anime. So this was an anime requested by one of my former patrons called Michael Kelly. Thank you, Michael, for introducing me to this anime. I find it really interesting. Very shocking and quite sad these episodes were. But before I get on to my thoughts about these episodes, I just want to confirm that when I do upload this redirect will be uploaded in April. So April's reactions are Cowboy Bebop and Food Wars, so I'll be reacting to those two animes in the month of April on Patreon. Only early access on Patreon, and then and then a month later I will be uploading those reactions on YouTube. So Patrons basically get early 1 month access to those anime trial reactions. So at the moment I'm doing trial reactions on Patreon, so this is just a trial reaction to Blue Exorcist, and I'll be doing trial reactions to Cowboy Bebop and Food Wars, just the first three episodes. And in May I'll be reacting to Samurai Champloo and Bleach. These are just trial reactions to Samurai Champloo and Bleach in May, if you want to become a patron in May. So April is Cowboy Bebop and Food Wars, and May is Samurai Champloo and Bleach. So those are trial reactions to expect on Patreon for early access. Alright, let's get on to what my thoughts are on these episodes. So, as I said, I really enjoyed these episodes. I was quite sad. I was very sad when the dad died, when Rin and Yukio's adopted father passed away. Not passed away, he got killed basically. He got killed by Rin and Yukio's biological father, who is actually Satan. So that was a huge shocker. There were actually quite a lot of shocking revelations in these episodes. So firstly, what we saw in the first episode was that Rin, he wanted to get a job, but he failed. Well, he got fired eventually, and he kept, like, we saw these flashbacks of people constantly calling him a demon's child because he kept acting really naughty, extremely naughty, very rebellious, very out of control, and yet he is being raised by a priest. So that's the ironic thing. And then he does have a twin brother called Yukio, and Yukio, compared to him, they seem to be very different, very much polar opposites to each other, where Yukio is very good, he's very virtuous, he's very smart, and then there's Rin, who is a lot more of a bad boy type, but he's still cool. I'm not saying in a bad way, I'm just like saying, like, their personalities are very different, and Rin, he's a lot more hot-tempered and short-tempered. So yes, he was going through a lot of trouble, like he kept getting into fights with people. Yeah, and so the priest, I believe his name is Shiro, he couldn't quite control him, but he hid so many things from him. So we found out there was this other boy that Rin was having like fights with, and he actually got possessed by a demon, and by a demon called Astaroth, and Astaroth is actually working for Satan, is actually working for Rin and Yuko's biological father, who is actually Satan. So he figured out that Rin is Satan's son, Satan's offspring, so he wanted to like work for him, but obviously, like, you know, you can't join the bad side. So it was really shocking to see Astaroth using this poor guy's body to, you know, to take over, to possess him, and antagonize the Rin, and like trying to like persuade him to join Satan's cause, I guess you could put it. So yeah, and the father's job throughout Rin and Yukio's lives, the father, Shiro, I mean the priest guy, he has been for so long trying to protect Rin from his real dad, from Satan, and from the evil people, the you know, the Satan and all the other devilish creatures from the Gehenna gate. So the Gehenna gate is basically the demonic world. So apparently there are two worlds in this anime. The Gehenna gate is where all of the demons are. It's another realm, a spiritual world, I guess, where all of the demons are and where Satan lives. And the other gate is Asaya. And Asaya is basically planet Earth, their world, the normal world. So because Rin is basically a mix of the two, considering that he's both a demon and like part of Asaya from his mother's side, I guess. So yeah, it's really tricky. Like he's trying to like compress his demonic side and like to find out that you're actually a demon. Like that was a real shocker, and he put all of his anger out on Shiro for not telling him that he's actually a demon, which is understandable, but unfortunately, because he put so much of his anger on Shiro on this, Shiro himself retaliated against him, and he wasn't supposed to do that. He wasn't supposed to slap him, and because he slapped him, Satan was able to possess Shiro. So basically, I don't want to put blame on people, but Rin technically, it basically allowed Shiro to get possessed because Shiro had amazing willpower. According to Yukio, this was revealed in episode 3, that Shiro was actually the best exorcist, the most powerful exorcist. He was able to resist Satan for so long. Satan is basically Rin and Yukio's father, and he was trying to possess the adopted father's body, and the adopted father had such a strong willpower that he was able to resist him for that long. But because he finally showed some anger towards Rin, he actually let Satan possess him, and because he possessed him, Satan actually killed Shiro. So it was really sad that that happened. He was such a loving father as well. He was such a loving, caring father towards Rin and Yukio. He practically raised them like his own sons. So it was really sad that he had to die this early on as well. Like, I was hoping he wouldn't die in these episodes, and I was getting this inclination that he was going to die in these episodes because he seemed so protective of Rin. So I was actually quite worried. For the father, because he was protecting Rin so damn much. But it's admirable that he's been doing that for so long. So yeah, Rin is basically the irony is that Rin wants to be an exorcist, but he's a demon. So he can't let his students, his classmates, find out what he actually is, who he actually is, because he's Satan's son. So if his classmates were to find out, they would want to kill him because he's a demon. Their job is to execute demons, to exorcise demons. So you know, like it's, oh man, that's a pickle. But at least he has his brother, and his brother does know the full situation. So that was another shocker, the fact that his brother was all this time studying exorcism, and so he is Rin and the other students' exorcist teacher. So that was another shock, the fact that he's able to be a teacher even though he's the same age as all the other students. So yeah, and like Yukio was basically blaming it on Rin, for their father's death, for their adopted father's death, and blaming on Rin's birthright. He's a demon. He was like pointing the gun at him, and I was like, no, no, he's still your brother. He's still a good person, and you shouldn't blame your brother on this, even though it was kinda his fault. But you know, like, you can't blame it on him forever. Like, your adopted father really wanted to protect him, so you know it's what he wanted to do. It was very brave of him as well. So yeah, a lot of. It's really interesting that there's a whole academy and these lessons being given to teach the exorcists how to be exorcists. So they'll have all these different powers, and Rin has the sword, the demon slaying sword. So it's really cool that he has that. But the priest, his own adopted father, said that he is not allowed to ever draw the sword, because if he draws the sword, then he will activate his demonic powers. But he did it anyway because he needed to slay the demon, slay Satan, the Gehenna gate that took his father basically, and he also had to slay the demon that was after Yukio. So, I mean, it's all cool. I just hope he can like fully control his demonic side. It seems he has pretty good control of it. He just has this anger issue going on. And I mean, like, Yukio's around, so I guess Yukio can tame the beast within him, if you get me. So yeah, I'm really interested in this. I'd like to know what happens next. I like to make a reaction instead of like watching this in my own time, but I can't do that now because I'm reacting to The Legend of Korra, and I believe most people want me to react to My Hero Academia after The Legend of Korra, so I'm just gonna have to put this for next year, next year's reactions. So yeah, sorry, but it is interesting. So what do you think of this anime? Don't spoil me though. Don't spoil me. What do you think of these episodes? Let me know and stay tuned for more.